Yep.
So we have joining us one of our great friends from All-22, Orlando Acevedo. Orlando, I'm in 3 All-22 leagues, and Orlando was in all 3 because he insists on losing to me in every league. I'm sure that's the reason. And
Only one for now. For
so
now.
not true. He's only lost in 1 league, and in that league, he took over a team that wasn't very good.
Hey,
Horrible.
this is a
Horrid.
time that every team is optimistic. We're going to win it all this
Yeah.
year. Every
Yeah.
team out there believes they're going to win it all.
Yeah.
This time of year is the time.
So
This
Orlando,
year, yes, not last.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to share this with both of the leagues, probably all 3 of the leagues we're in. And a lot of people may not know, I kid around and I call you the mystery man because for a long time, nobody had seen your face and whatnot. So just tell us a little bit about you, man, where you live, who's your favorite team, all that kind of stuff.
I'm from Connecticut. My favorite team loosely is the Raiders. But I follow every football team. I like good football. Once they start to be good again, I'll be a hardcore fan again.
I was going to say, like the last I heard, you were a diehard Raiders fan, but now it seems like you're tempering your enthusiasm a little bit because of the current circumstances.
I give them the energy that they give out.
All right.
Once they start winning, I'll change my energy.
Tell the guys in the league something about you that they don't know, like something interesting. Can you leap tall buildings in a single bound, catch bullets with your teeth, anything like that? Like something about Orlando that we don't know.
No, I would say I'm something of a dog whisperer.
Really?
In high school, I was a part of the FFA, which is the Future Farmers of America.
Cool.
So I'm close with animals and I'm real close with dogs. So I'm love dogs.
Yeah. Do you have a dog?
Not anymore. She passed away a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay.
Thank you. She was 20. She lived a long life.
Wow. Okay. What breed was that to live 20 years? What breed?
She was a Pekingese.
Okay. Small dogs. We have a
puppy.
golden retriever that's about the size of a tuna boat. His name is Ricky. Fortunately, my wife probably won't be seeing this, so I can say that out loud because she's big on dog treats and those kind of things. What say you, John?
Olive is laying right here. I'm a yellow lab person. I'm a big dog person. And we have decided that Olive will be our last. We usually have 2 at a time. And our older one passed away a couple years ago. And we've decided that we're going to take a little break for a few years without a dog and then get one again because my wife and I want to do some traveling. So it's a little easier if you don't have animals at home to do that. But I'm a huge dog person, so I hear you, man. They're fun to be around. They're true companions.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially once your kids are out. John and I are both empty nesters. Orlando, you have a little one, right?
Yeah, I have a 2-year-old.
Cutie.
My best friend.
Yeah, he is adorable. Yeah. I saw a photo of him that we did a video for one of our other leagues, and he's just the best looking guy.
We actually just put him down to sleep. That's why I was a little late. He was energetic and like, no.
Yeah, man. You gotta take care of business.
I want to, as we ask the questions of what Andy's prepared, I think 3 questions that we're going to set up for him. But I think we should ask my the last one is the question that I gave you is my number 1 question,
which is,
what's your 40 time?
My 40 time. Now we're back in high school.
No, either or.
And you don't have to. This is like playing All-22 and talking about your successes. You don't have to tell the truth.
I might pop a butt cheek if I tried now, or something in my leg will fall apart if I tried now. So it'd be over a minute.
I hear you. I think if I ran a 40 now, they might time me with a sundial. So
just getting up straight from the start off is like, ugh.
So talk to us about your PFF. Like, so you're one of 2 people in our leagues that have a connection to PFF outside of All-22, which is something I literally want to learn more about. So talk to us about that. Like, that's really interesting to me. And what's stunning about that is it doesn't seem somehow to parlay and spill over to your success in All-22, but that's neither here nor there. So tell us about your...
I'm learning. I feel like experience is making it a little better because especially in the drafts, I love the drafts. They're fun.
Yeah, they
The
are.
more drafts you do, the more well, with me, I kind of adapt in every draft that I do. So just in regards to all 22, I know you asked about PFF, but all 22, the drafts are just so fun and adapting to the players that are coming off the board when you're about to pick.
Yeah.
It's super fun. But PFF, yeah, what do you want to know? I collect data. I'm a data collector. So I sit at the computer, watch the games. I have to put in all 22 players that are playing for every play that I'm assigned. Um, Pretty much got to get all 22 players right. Because if you get one player right or wrong, then you get a lot of things wrong. Because along with the player you're also putting his position, and then you're also putting in his stance, and then you also put in a couple more things. So if you have the player wrong, that means those other things are also incorrect. So you're getting a lot of things wrong. And you get paid based off of what you get correct mostly. So you want to get
NFL,
things correct.
college, like what leagues are you doing? What
Both of them, it's everything. It's NFL, CFL, college,
really?
everything. Yeah.
And is that something you do 10 hours a week, full time? Like how many hours a week are you doing?
I commit, I give them like 25 hours a week, but those like this week I have one game that's probably gonna shake out to be like 5 or 6 hours.
So that's how long it
Um,
takes to grade a game takes 5 or 6 hours.
for now, yeah, but I'll get better at it and trim it down to like
I, I, I,
3.5.
I heard a podcast this week that said something like PFF's got like 1,500 or is it 2,500 independent contractors? It's a huge number.
Yeah, they
Guys like
say there's a
yourself.
lot. Yeah, for sure.
And so you
Just
don't,
applying for it, there were like 300 people, I believe.
what was that?
Applying for it, there were like 300 applicants,
Really?
and then going up throughout the training after like there were 5 weeks of training. After like week one, it was trimmed down to like 150 or 200.
Hmm.
So it was pretty intense.
There's a
Is
cut
that
down.
all done virtually?
Yeah. Yeah. All over the computer. Yeah.
So when you don't do like just offensive line or defensive line, you do the entire 22 guys.
No, you do everyone. Yeah. The tough part is the trick about it is I'm seeing everything from the sideline. So I'm not seeing all 22 camera view. I'm not seeing multiple camera views. I'm only seeing one. And it's only the side. So I'm not seeing the numbers. I'm not seeing the most important things that I got to see in order to get it right. So you have to really get like what the players are wearing, like their long sleeves, short sleeves, tall socks, short socks, what kind of cleats or color cleats he's wearing, color gloves, things like that
Wow.
in order to get it right.
Why don't they give you that all 22 camera that you can spin around and
Because that's not out in the amount of time that they need our data completed. By
oh
the time they need our data completed, that all 22 camera footage might be just coming out for
yeah.
use.
When that first came out like to the public like 3 or 4 years ago, I think now it's part of NFL Plus maybe or something like that. But there was
Mhm.
this thing that they had, I'm going to say 4 years ago, where you could purchase the all 22. And I think this is before the all 22 fantasy football league. And I just thought, man, I'm going to really be interested in this. And I bought it. And I think I watched 2 games and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go back to watching the network. Cause it was,
On NFL Plus, I did that too.
that's like, I don't know
Same
what to
exact
watch
thing.
for, cause I'm not
Yeah.
grading anything. So it was like, I don't
Mhm.
quite know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And for years I had the ticket. And what I liked about it was you could also get the television copy. So you could watch all 22 or you could get the television copy. So it was
Mm.
almost like the equivalent of having the ticket. But my recollection is it was a little less expensive, but you didn't get access to it until like Monday or something like
Mm.
that, like Monday afternoon or Monday evening or something like that.
Yeah. 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 I did that too. And big waste of money. I stopped doing that a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
it was one and done for me.
For the another fun thing about it is it's kind of like it's very similar to watching film. So you really get to see why certain teams are good, why certain teams aren't that good. Um, for example, watching the Oregon game last year, one of the Oregon games, noticing. I did their defense, and there are a lot of keys why their defense was not performing well because every play they would like try to switch up the players very like a lot. They would switch up like two secondary players and then two linemen plus linebacker or something like that. So it wasn't any type of continuity. So they really dropped the ball. So that it teaches you a lot on in regards to like football, which I love.
So
It's fun.
I have a question that maybe you can give me some insight on. Is that there are certain players that I just completely don't understand how PFF grades them,
Oh,
and
same, 100%.
you look at some positions and you're like, okay, I get how this person gets a grade in that one, but there's some of
Yeah,
them, and the easy one to pick out is how do you grade a punter? That if he doesn't get one blocked, and then it just comes down to hang time and average yards probably in some form of calculation. But PFF's secret sauce is I'm sure they don't want to share it, but how do you grade certain positions, or how do they look at certain positions that are, not whether they caught the pass, blocked the edge that was rushing, or made the completion,
mhm.
kind of thing.
The easy answer is I don't know
Yeah.
that type of information. I do want to do player grading sooner or later, but you got to work your way up to that. But that is a great question. I do always wonder that because kickers like Justin Tucker, he's not one of the top rated kickers, but he is in real life like
Yeah, he's a killer, right? He's
the
a
best
beauty.
kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And there
The
are a
eye
lot of
test
players
is
too.
always great.
Yeah, there are a lot of players too that are just not graded well, but a lot of them, I guess, is play, but a lot of big name cornerbacks don't grade well, like Jair Alexander. There are
Yeah.
multiple secondary players that just never graded well. I don't know why that is, but
I
they
think
perform well on the field.
one of my
Yes.
biggest mysteries about All-22 grading, by the way, there's this, I don't know if you guys saw that Sam and Steve have left PFF, and the guys that have taken their place have a new podcast. And I think it was either today or yesterday, they have one where they're talking about how they grade offensive and defensive linemen. So it's
Hmm.
kind of interesting, John, that might help you. But
Yeah.
the thing I find with it is one of the reasons I like All-22, unlike traditional fantasy where it drives me crazy because I'm watching a game and I'm rooting for my team, but my guy is on this team or whatever. With All-22, I got to the point that I can never figure out what the hell the grades are going to be anyway. So I just watch the
Yeah,
games,
you gotta
enjoy
wait.
it, and then
Yeah.
I look at the grades the next day. And
Mhm.
like one of my most poignant example is there's a linebacker who went to University of Kentucky, John, who you'll remember, named Jamin Davis, who
Yep.
came out like in
Mhm.
21, I think. Uh, 22, I think was the year he came out into the NFL. And he was a rookie. We picked him up like week 8, something like that. He was playing pretty well. And he had this game, I'm going to say like week 12 or something like that, where like we would look at the box score at the end of, I say we, I've got a partner on those teams named John Ganster. And he's not really my wife or my
Mhm.
partner. I mean, just like
Your
in terms of,
football
just
wife.
want to make sure
Mhm.
my wife's
Football
upstairs
wife,
asleep,
yeah.
just saying. Anyway, um, we looked at the box score. I'm like, oh, Jamin Davis is going to grade like crazy. He had 22 tackles, and he had his lowest grade of his career, which was like 26 or something like that. So I stopped even looking at the box scores when it comes to defensive players for something other than like sacks or interceptions or fumble recoveries, forced turnovers, because it just doesn't seem to be intuitive at all. So I don't know, maybe
Not good.
what's that?
Sorry, my wife yelled at.
Oh,
She came in
oh,
from a walk and
okay. So that's
checking on me.
interesting stuff, Orlando. So your task, your job this week is you have to look at the chat. There's a video from
Mhm.
last week. We sent it out, and Chris was kind enough to share it with Ray and maybe some other people. 19 people
I'm gonna
watched it.
watch it.
I said to John, I don't know who the other 2 people were. I watched it 17 times, No, really, I don't know who watched it. So we want to thank you for your time. We want to end this little session by playing a little
Mhm.
game. And here are going to be the rules. It's called
Mhm.
Next question. Here's the premise. We're going to give you 45 seconds. Okay. I've got a timer right here on my phone, and we're going to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
And if you get all 3 questions right, John and I will each sit our punter and kicker when you play us this year across all platforms. If you get 2 questions right, each of us will sit our kicker. If you get 1 question right, we'll each sit our punter when we play games. If you get no questions right, the next time you make a trade with either one of us, you have to throw in a 2029 7th round pick. Ready? Question number 1. If women are from Venus and men are from Mars, from what planet do parakeets hail?
I was expecting something
Clock is
sports
ticking.
related, but that is great.
Clock is ticking.
Let's see. Uranus.
Good guess? No, it's Mercury. They're trying to get away from the heat of the sun. Next question.
Okay.
If you could be reincarnated, would you rather be a squirrel or an aardvark?
An aardvark.
No, you're mistaken. No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is squirrel. And next question. Question number 3. Is it better to draft a right-handed or a left-handed quarterback?
Left-handed. I'm a lefty, so
Oh, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. The answer is an ambidextrous quarterback. And you were late on time, so you got none of those questions correct. And I'm sorry to inform you that the next time you make a trade with either John or I across each of the platforms, each league you make a trade with us, you're now obligated to throw in a 7th round pick from 2029, which means that we both have to make that trade with you quickly, because once you've given up that pick, of course, the other one
keep trying to
we're going to try to make
send me Trey Benson.
Yeah,
You want
we
that
gotta
7th
finalize
round
that
pick
trade.
for Trey Benson.
That's my
I'll give
sport,
you
brother.
I'll give you my 2029 7th round pick for Trey Benson. There you go.
That might be where we end up, my friend.
Submit
Awesome.
it. Submit
Okay.
it.
Thanks for your time, man. We'll send you the video here in a few days.
Yeah.
Love
great.
you, mean it,
Great to
brother.
see
Have
you
an
guys.
awesome night. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Take care.
Thanks, Orlando.